Hello everyone. In this video, I will demonstrate how to use R to graph text data. You can review the PowerPoint or the PDF file, visualizing text data in R to get a general idea about what we can do with text data using R. Although the graphing method cannot provide in-depth analysis of text content and meaning interpretations, but it can give us an overview of the text content, such as word frequencies in general, differences in word frequencies between multiple text files, correlations between text to a particular theme that define with keywords, and a grammatic structure of the text. You can find all the figures shown here in this slide. And I will walk through the code file and show you how to use packages to produce those figures, and some tips of adding self-defined arguments to adjust colors and layouts. So here are some of the figures we're going to talk about in this video. Before start, we will install 3 R packages and load them into the library. First, let's plot some simple word cloud. Here are the examples in page 5. Figure 1 shows a plot of several words with given frequencies. We created this graph using the word cloud function. Here you can input the words you want to plot and the corresponding frequency vectors. For example, I inputted 10 words, and the frag argument I defined a vector of frequencies for this word. For example, the word kind is the most frequent word, showing up for 66 times, and the word caring showing up for 9 times, etc. Words with higher frequency will appear larger in your graph. And the min frag argument defines the lowest frequency word that will show up in your plot. For example, if you set min frag equals 5, then words with frequency less than 5 won't be shown in the plot. Also, you can define colors as you like, and I choose orange. So we run this line of code, you will produce a plot like this. Obviously, you see kind has the largest font size. Figure 2 is a word cloud of a short paragraph. Similarly, word with higher frequency will be larger. And this time we use a color palette and to provide, we use a color palette that provided by the package of R Color Braille. Using this function display Braille all, you will see all the available color palettes that you can choose from. Here, what I do was first choose the color RDPU. So I think here is the RDPU. And decided to show up to 6 color combinations and name it as PAL. Again, we will use the word cloud function, and the paragraph I plot was a short text copied from IU webpage. And this is the outcome graph. So you can try to see how your graph looks different if you set random color equals F. Here I set random color equals true. So you will see words will pick random color but different from each other. if I set random color equals F, the difference is the most frequent word campus will have a different color from all other words. Here, you may see the warning signs. This is because I manually input the text content rather than creating and saving them into a data frame. So it's okay because these are warning message, but not error message. So your output graph is not wrong. In figure 3, I plotted a longer text file. This is the Martin Luther King's speech. To plot an existing text file, you will need to first read the text file into R and do some data clean work. So we need to first transfer your text file into a corpus vector and clean some of the unnecessary information, such as transfer all the letters into lowercase, remove numbers, remove some stop words, punctuations, and extra white space. By doing all of this, lastly, we will need to create a term document matrix. And this chunk of code, I just show some of the top frequent word in this data. After completing all the data clean work, you can plot your file. So here is the output word cloud of the Martin Luther King speech. And some additional argument we can find here is that you can first define the maximum of words to include when you have a lengthy text file. Here I plotted as many of 200 words. And the rod per argument defines the proportion of words to be vertically displayed. So here I set it as 40%. You may see how this will be different if you choose a different number. For example, this is a 70% of the word will show vertically. Or just 20%. And for this graph, I use a different color palette, dark 2, and define the scale. So here, the scale argument defined the range of font size. So we just show the 3 example figures in page 5. In addition to graphing just one text file, we can also compare multiple text files and see the difference of word frequency. In page 7, I showed an example of comparing 2 text files, the Martin Luther King's speech versus Nelson Mandela's speech. To make comparison of several text files, we need to first create a folder and put all relevant text in it. So I create a folder named CompCloud and put the 2 text files I want to compare in it. Again, we read the data and do some data clean as we did earlier, and create a data frame that consists of columns of words from all the text file. So here you can see this is the data frame after the data clean, having 2 columns. Each column contains the words and its frequency. Then I changed the name of column to reflect the content of the text. and plot comparison plot using this function, comparison cloud. Running this line of code, you will get a graph like this. So here again, we define the maximum numbers of words we want to display as 250. And if you want random order, 20% of the word will be displayed vertically. And also I define my title font size as 1.5 using the color palette of set1. Also, you can change the font color of your title, the font size or the font color of your title. For example, if I add an additional argument saying title color equals purple, then I will get my graph like this. So you will see what have changed. Another text graph I want to introduce is the correlation plot. So I believe you often see correlation plots with numerical data indicating the level of association between several variables. But we can also visualize correlation among many text files that are discussing a common topic. So we will need the core plot package here. And I will use a sample data CRUD in R. This is a data file consists of 20 articles related to the crude oil news. So we install the package, library it, and read the data. Do some data clean work and transfer the data into a matrix. Here, this function find frag terms data will try to find the most frequent terms or words appear in all the articles. And the find assort data here will try to helps you to find association of the defined keywords with all the 20 documents and the highly frequent data. So in particular here, I want to see which words has a correlation with crude and oil at or above 0.7 level of correlation. Of course, you can define your own keywords. So here what we can see is these are the 4 words has a correlation to crude at or above 0.7. And these are the ones has a correlation to oil at or above 0.7. And this chunk of code here, I changed the name of the 20 articles into doc1 to 20 and compute correlation and plot it out. So these are the ending data matrix. And we will use the core plot function here. And you will see a plot like this. In this plot, all 20 documents are about a common topic, the crude oil. But the associations among them differs. The color reflects the direction and the level of association. Here we can see red indicates negative association and blue indicates positive association. And a darker color indicates a stronger association. From the plots, we find, for example, document 17 and 16 has stronger correlation with each other compared to other documents. But document 20 has little association to the rest of documents. So you may want to look closely on document 20 to see what it talks about. And the last graph I want to share with you is a phrase tree. Unlike a word cloud, the phrase tree does not plot word frequencies. Rather, it provides a context of the text. It is very easy to create a phrase tree with your own text file. An example of phrase tree of Nelson Mandela's speech is in page 11. To plot such a phrase tree, you can click and visit the web page. You can click the link here and visit the web page. So here in the paste text box, you just copy and paste the text you want to plot. Then you will get it. It's quite fun, isn't it? So today I share with you several methods to visualize text data. I hope you find it helpful. And in the last page, I listed some of the resources that may be helpful to you. And if you have any questions, please contact me or leave a message. Thank you.